Gotrax is well known for their solid, simple, and straightforward entry-level scooters. This has made them one of the best-selling brands for scooters under $600. The new G5 also slots in under that $600 line and promises the best riding experience and bang for the buck of the whole Gotrax lineup. Let's see what's new and different about the G5. This is the first ever Gotrax scooter with front suspension. This, combined with the 10-inch air-filled tubed tires, make for a relatively planted, cushioned ride. While this front fork isn't huge, the biggest thing it helps with is those sudden, hard bumps like a raised section of sidewalk or an unexpected pothole. The wide handlebars, long riding platform, and deck tail add to the ride comfort by offering plenty of size and space for an adult rider. Lots of scooters in the budget class tend to be on the smaller side, but the G5 really feels like it's made for adult commuters. The cockpit offers a set of chunky handlebar grips that don't slide or twist around. They're significantly thicker than standard grips and offer a unique feel and a solid point of contact between you and the scooter. A bright LED center display gives you the speed, riding mode, and battery level at a glance, and the display stays nice and visible in the sun. The thumb throttle, bell, and brake levers are all fairly standard components at this price. The spring for the thumb throttle is a bit stiff, and I found it fatiguing my thumb a little on longer rides. The cruise control feature, which I'll go over in a second, can help with this. The stem latch is also fairly standard with a release tab and extra safety catch to prevent accidental folding. Stem folding is quick and easy with this style of latch. The G5 is on the longer side at 48 inches long with a nicely sized riding platform. The deck mat is rubberized for decent grip, and the connected rear fender is nice and solid, so you can use a bit as a rear footrest as long as you don't put too much weight towards the back of it. The kickstand is solid and not likely to break off quickly, like a lot of the crappy, flimsy kickstands that we see. On the whole, it's a super sturdy scooter with no stem wiggle and a simple, stress-free design. It also has a more modern and sleek appearance compared to Gotrax's previous models. It's no new or segue in terms of aesthetics, but it's a definite design improvement. The G5 is a 48-volt scooter with a single rear 500-watt motor and has a tested top speed of 18.9 miles an hour. It's got a relatively quick, zippy, flat ground feel for the price, and I think first-time scooter owners are going to be happy with the acceleration and speed. It's kick to start, which I don't mind on a scooter at this price. However, you are unable to hold down the throttle prior to kicking off. You have to kick first and then press down the throttle to activate the motor. It's not the end of the world, but I would prefer to have either the option of zero start or to have kick to start that lets you hold down the throttle prior to kicking off. It had a bit of a struggle on our 200-foot 10% incline test, taking 40 seconds to reach the top at an average speed of 3.4 miles an hour, but at the very least it didn't stop at any point. Riders in hilly areas might want to consider a more expensive scooter with a bit more power, but the G5 will have no issues in flatter areas or areas with gentle hills. The 9.6 amp hour, 461 watt hour battery gave me 14.2 miles in the Rider Guide range test, which includes both uphill and downhill riding. I rode in the highest speed mode the whole time, so this should be the minimum range you're able to get. The range is actually really reasonable for the price and should be plenty for the average commute or local errand running. It has 3 speed modes, Sport, Drive, and Eco, each one capping your top speed at different levels. Most of the time you'll probably use Sport mode, and if you really need to stretch your range, then you can use Drive mode. Eco mode is so slow that it really isn't worth using unless you're just learning to ride. The cruise control uses the same method that I liked a lot from the G-Max Ultra, where you hold down the throttle and maintain the same speed for about 5 seconds to lock in your cruise speed. This means that the cruise control isn't constantly activating when you don't want it or need it, but it does kick in on long straight stretches where it's the most useful. The steering has a bit of a notched feel to it, which is often intentional on scooters to help with stability at higher speeds. It feels different from other entry-level scooters, but doesn't have a huge effect, neither good nor bad, in the way it actually feels to steer. Braking is a bit on the slower side with dual drum brakes and some mild supplemental electronic braking. In our braking test, it came to a stop in 15.5 feet from 15 miles an hour. The G5 finds a decent balance between riding comfort and portability, folding down under 20 22 inches tall. Uses a standard handlebar latch system to keep the bars locked down to the deck when folded. At 44 pounds, the G5 is light enough to carry by the stem and can fairly easily be carried upstairs or lifted into a car. Even with its longer length, it has no issues with our trunk test. With an IP54 water and dust rating, it should be fine through puddles and through the occasional sprinkler, but the rating is a bit low for me to feel confident about saying it would be okay in the rain. It does have a large set of fenders to prevent water spray from getting kicked up onto you and the scooter while you ride though. While it technically has a headlight, it doesn't offer any significant light for night riding, so be sure to grab a handlebar mounted light if you plan to ride in the dark. I also want to point out that the rims on the G5 are solid rather than split, so changing a flat inner tube will require the right tools and a bit of patience. It really feels like you're getting exactly what you pay for with this scooter. It doesn't do anything exceptionally well or exceptionally poorly, but delivers a solid product at a reasonable price. Here are a few other scooters to consider at this price. The new KQi 2 and 3 models sit in the same price category with similar specs as the G5. Clean, modern design and quality construction is what sets these models apart from the competition. They have tubeless tires, meaning less flats, but they do lack the suspension of the G5. The Segway F2 is a new model around $600 or $700 from Segway 9bot that I'm currently testing. I'm a big fan so far. It has self-healing tubeless tires and the best front suspension I've tried on any entry-level scooter. However, the G5 is a bit bigger and roomier and has a more chunky, solid build. The Turboant X7 Max offers similar speed and ride feel to the G5 and is the only scooter mentioned here that has a removable battery. However, the design feels a bit outdated compared to the other scooters mentioned here and is top heavy because of the battery location. The G5 has basically everything that Gotrax's G Max Ultra offers, but in a newer, better looking package and with suspension. This feels like the go-to scooter for those on a budget and considering Gotrax. Be sure to check it out, the link below, where there will also be any discount codes we have for you. I'm Mitchell with Rider Guide. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.